Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm Udit Bubna and today we'll discuss an interesting research paper that was published in the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation biannual publication called Sarvekshana this week. The paper highlights the disparity with regards to financial inclusion and indebtedness level among different social economic groups and states. The study, authored by Dr. Binod Bihari Jaina, Assistant Professor of Economics at DAV College, Odisha, and Rabin Narayan Patra, Visiting Professor at Council of Analytical Tribal Studies, Odisha, is based on the unit-level data of the 78th round of National Sample Survey 2020-2021 on Multiple Indicator Survey in India. The paper finds that the financial inclusion level stands its highest among Hindus at 88.1% and lowest among Muslims at 80.8%, while for the other remaining religious groups it is 86.6%. The paper also notes that among the different religious groups, indebtedness level was the lowest among Muslims at 12.3%, while it was highest among Hindus at 14.9%. While overall financial inclusion levels remain high, but still Muslim financial inclusion level remain lower than the national average of 87.2%. Comparatively, Muslims have low levels of social inclusion with regards to education, which explains the reasons for their low level of financial inclusion, says Govind Rao, former Finance Commissioner member to ThePrint. According to the research paper, a person is considered financially included if they have an account to store money either in a bank or in any financial institution or in a mobile money service provider. A household member is considered as indebted if she or he had taken a cash loan of at least rupees 500 and it remained unpaid as on date of survey. Among the different caste groups, the study found that while OBCs have high levels of financial inclusion at 87.5%, they also have the highest level of debt at 16.6%. Closely following the OBCs in financial inclusion were the scheduled caste at 86.3% and scheduled tribes at 84.5%. However, while the indebtedness level of scheduled caste was high at 14.6%, it was lowest among scheduled tribes at 11%. For others, which is general category, financial inclusion was the highest at 88.5%. At national level, the paper found financial inclusion level at 87.2%, while indebtedness level stood at 14.7% among population aged 15 and above. The research paper states, in India, financial inclusion is increasingly recognized as a policy-determined outcome because governments and regulators play a central role in shaping the financial inclusion ecosystem. The paper highlights 8 government schemes that have helped improve financial inclusion, which includes Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Stand Up India Scheme, PM Vishwakarma Scheme, and Prime Minister Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi. According to Arun Goyal, Director of Academy of Business Studies, a research and consultancy and publishing organization based in Delhi, besides government schemes, microfinance and non-banking financial companies have played a major role in enhancing financial services across India in the last few years. These companies are giving tough competition to traditional banks by engaging in aggressive marketing through agents and self-help groups, Goyal told ThePrint. The research paper finds a wide gap in financial inclusion among ever married and never married category of people. While financial inclusion was at 90.9% among married people, it remained low for never married people at 76.4%. The contrast is similar with regards to debt levels for ever married people, which stood at 18.4%, while never married was at 3.4%. The paper highlights a direct relationship between education and financial inclusion levels. There is a gap of 9.7 percentage points in financial inclusion level of non-literates, which is at 84.5%, and people with higher secondary and above education levels, which is at 94.2%. Among gender groups, the female population lag behind with 84.5% in comparison to male population, which is at 89.8% in terms of financial inclusion. The paper further states that there exists a direct relationship between indebtedness and household economic status, and inverse relationship between indebtedness and household size. For large family households, which is greater than or equal to 8 people, indebtedness level was lowest at 10%, whereas for small households, which is less than or equal to 4 people, level of indebtedness was highest at 17.8%. Although there is a perception that urban areas will have high levels of financial inclusion in comparison to rural, owing to better infrastructure and greater access to financial institutions, the paper finds no major difference in India's context, with urban areas at 87.5% and rural at 87.1%. The debt levels too remain similar for both urban and rural at 14 and 15% respectively. Among the 6 regions of India, the level of financial inclusion and indebtedness was highest for southern region, where financial inclusion stands at 92.1% and indebtedness stood at 31.8%. Whereas it was least for northeast region, where financial inclusion stood at 80.2% and indebtedness at 7.4%. For context, states with highest levels of debt are primarily south-based, which is Andhra Pradesh at 43.7%, Telangana at 37.2%, Kerala at 29.9%, and Tamil Nadu at 29.4%, and Karnataka at 23.2%. Similarly, southern states that also have high levels of financial inclusion are Karnataka at 95.9%, Andhra Pradesh at 92.3%, Tamil Nadu at 92%, and Kerala at 91%. Telangana is the only major state with below 90% of financial inclusion level, which is at 86.5%. High levels of literacy among females in South India is a major factor for high levels of financial inclusion in the region, said Arun Goel of the Academy of Business Studies. According to Rao, former Finance Commission member, high financial inclusion in southern states is on account of presence of banking sector there before independence. Banking sector existed in southern states before independence. Many banks like Canara Bank, Corporation Bank, Vijaya Bank started their operations from south of India. Post 1991, growth of the service sector across cities like Hyderabad and Bengaluru also helped in enhancing financial inclusion in the region. According to the paper, some smaller states and union territories are very close to achieving universal financial inclusion. These include Andaman and Nicobar with 97.5%, followed by Dadra Nagar Haveli with 96.3%, then Goa at 95.8%, Himachal Pradesh at 95.6%, and Puducherry at 95.4%. The National Capital Territory of Delhi has the lowest levels of debt in the country at 3.4%. However, it remains at par with national average of 87.2% in financial inclusion, as it stands at 87.3%, behind states like Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal that have vast rural areas.